Hey guys, it's Mocha. I'm checking in. Yeah, sorry I didn't post a video yesterday. I just after being sick and then the migraine kicked in, it just wasn't gonna happen. Um, but today here I am. I'm probably gonna go back to the more traditional looking videos later, but right now I stay on the road so much and I run around so much that doing a video in that fashion, my bandana's driving me crazy, sorry, isn't feasible right now. So there may be some videos of me in the car. As you can see, I'm always in the car. So the quality of the video may be better, maybe worse. I'm not really sure how that's working out. But for now, I'm going to come from you live from my car. Yay! Today I'm at one of my favorite spots in my hometown. And well, I'll just scan around so you can see what I'm looking at. Sorry if you're looking at the frame of my car. Like I said, I'm in the car. Can't really help that. Anyway, this place is called Greenwood Cemetery. Now you might be thinking, Mocha, why in the world are you A, in the cemetery, and B, how is it one of your favorite places? Well, my answer to both is, look again. This place is lovely. And it's serene. And it's peaceful. And it just fills me with a calm that I really can't describe. It's just a really lovely place. I come here a lot to think and reflect, and a lot of my family's buried here. And some of you that know me know that I wrote an article about this place a couple of years ago. Actually right around this time last year, if I'm correct. If I can find it, it was for welunk.com, and I believe it was called something to the effect of Inside Greenwood Cemetery or something like that. So if you want to look it up, like I said, welunk.com, Inside Greenwood Cemetery. If I can find the link to it, I'll go ahead and throw the link in the description on this video. Anyway, as I said, I come here a lot to think and reflect. And it kind of ties in with one of the things I want to talk about today. I actually have three topics, for us today. And this place kind of ties in with the first place I want to talk, the first story I want to talk about, which is there is a town in Ohio. I want to say it's Middleton. I'll have to look that up. My apologies if I got that wrong, but there is a town in Ohio that is talking about or wanted to consider a 3 strikes law in the use of Narcan. Now, for those who don't know, Narcan is the drug that's given to a person who was overdosed on heroin. And they're considering a 3 strikes law. In other words, if emergency personnel have come and administered Narcan to you twice already, they won't do it a third time. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Then I'll give you my opinion. Which, from the look on my face, I'm pretty sure you probably already know where I'm going with this, but I'll give you a moment. Okay, thought about it? Good. Now, here's my opinion. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. Okay, I get it. Yes, drug addiction at one point is a choice. Yes, at one point somebody chose to put that needle in their arm and inject that heroin and stay on that path. I understand that. However, how in the world would you go about determining that anyway? You're going to see it like somebody calls in and nobody really calls in and gives a name where they call 911. So if somebody calls 911 and says they have an overdose, you're going to ask for their name, their social security number, what? You're going to keep a running list? You're going to keep a total? That makes no sense. You treat people. You don't put a limit on the amount of treatment somebody can get. You don't say, oh, sorry, you've had Narcan twice already. I'm not going to give it to you a third time. Godspeed. See you on the other side. No. Absolutely not. Now, if you want to charge these people for using the Narcan, I'm all for that. If they can't afford to pay for the Narcan, which can be pricey, it ranges from what research I've done from like $50 up to $120 for a single dose of it. And yes, sometimes it takes more than one dose to revive a person. If you want to make that person reimburse the city or county or whomever for the use of the drug, and if they can't do that financially, make them work it off, what have you, I got no problem with that. You know what? I'm all for that. I also think there should be treatment or maybe even some sort of criminal charge, depending on what they have with them, where it happens, what have you. But no, you do not withhold treatment to someone. You don't. And furthermore, okay, that's a slippery slope. Fine, you withhold treatment to them because they've had Narcan twice. If someone has an allergic reaction, you're not going to give them an EpiPen because, oh, they got stung by a bee before? If someone is having is insulin shock, are you not going to give insulin because they should have managed their sugar better? No. Absolutely, positively not. It's wrong. How anybody could seriously consider it, I don't understand. And furthermore, I've been preaching this for a while. This country has a serious drug epidemic. We have serious problems, and we really need to get down to the reason for the problem. There's a reason people are self-medicating, and we really need to find out what that reason is. Otherwise, we're going to have too many people that end up, well, where I am right now. And they're not here enjoying the scenery and the peacefulness of the cemetery in the same way I am. And that's sad. We need to get to the bottom of this. And that, boys and girls, is the end of rant number 1. I'll be back with number 2 momentarily. And we're back. Hi, everybody. Okay, so that was the end of segment 1. Now I'm back on segment 2. Yeah, I've changed locations just because that's my peaceful spot. And the Narcan thing, because it was dealing with people who could possibly, end up dying because of this crazy attempt at legislation. They could end up dying because of it. It seemed, I don't want to say suitable for the cemetery, but the mood kind of matched the location. But I don't want to ruin my favorite place by talking about obnoxious, insane things all the time. So I decided that I would treat these next 2 segments, or I'd go someplace else for these next 2 segments. God, I'm making no sense today. I'm so sorry. Anyway, second thing I want to talk about is there's a story out of Florida. And I'll have the links to these stories in the description of this video, so you can go and read all about it if you want to. But I sit in my car with Rugrat, in the car behind me. We're just tooling around for the day, waiting for our mom. And There's a story out of Florida about a man who was trying to help a toddler find her parents because she was lost. And said toddler's parents, or at least parent and a couple of friends, beat up the guy that was trying to help the little girl. And then on top of that, they went on to social media and labeled him a pedophile. Now, all this man was trying to do was help this little girl find her parents. Here's the concept. If your child wasn't lost to begin with, she wouldn't have to depend on the kindness of strangers to help find you. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand things happen. You blink, kids disappear. I had it happen when Diva was a baby. You know, I understand how it happens. However, when you find your child, it might be a little better for everyone involved if instead of automatically pouncing on the dude and punching him in the face, you say, yo, that's my kid. Worst thing he's going to do is try to take off, and well, you got him in your sights, and there's more than one of you, he's not going to get away. So, I don't understand the reaction. I mean, I understand it, you know, frightened parents, kids missing, see kid with a stranger. Okay. However, we have become such a reactionary society. I mean, we're bring out the pitchforks for any and every reason. And I just don't understand that rationale. I would like to think, I want to think, and I'm pretty sure that if I were in that position, I wouldn't go all kung fu on the person that had my child. I would like to think that I was rational enough to be like, yo, that's my kid. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be approaching them very aggressively, but I'm not going to like start approaching them with my fist drawn. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just weird and a little too kumbaya for life. I don't know. But anyway, the father attacked the guy, and then they went on social media and posted that he was a pedophile. Now, mind you, all he was trying to do was help this kid find her parents. That was it. And it just so happens that the venue he was there with several off-duty deputies. So, you know, he's a friend of law enforcement. The whole story just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth because it's a good example for why people refuse to step in and help. You know, these are the kind of people, the reason why Good Samaritan laws had to be created. And even with those laws, people are still hesitant to step in and help people because, you know, you step in and try to help a child that's lost and you get beat up. Is that guy like going to second guess helping a kid the next time this happens? And there will be a next time because there's always going to be parents that blink and kids run off, or there's always going to be parents that are clueless. I don't know which category these parents fall into. I could make an opinion on that, but I'm not going to because there's no sense. But so the next time there's a lost child, is someone going to hesitate helping that child because they're afraid of the possible ramifications from the child's parents? And what if the only people that are willing to step in are people who are pedophiles and who do wish this child harm? What then? We need to stop being such a reactionary society and actually think things through. Think before you act. Pay more attention. Do what you have to do. But we're to the point where people are not going to want to help other people. It's just not going to happen. You know? And that's sad because it doesn't have to be that way. Just like I said in the last segment, you know, people do not have to die from heroin overdoses. there's a reason for why it's going on. We need to get to the bottom of that. Well, you know what? As a society, we really need to be nice to each other so that when people need help, others will step in and help and not hesitate and not be afraid of what may happen when they do step up. Just throwing that out there, do with it what you will. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3. Oh, number 3. All right. Number 3. Yes. Story number 3. This comes out of Indiana. Apparently, a 19-year-old, we'll call him a man, doused the kitten with gasoline and set it on fire. The kitten was found. The kitten has been treated, is being treated, and is expected to survive, but, it's got a hard road ahead of her. I believe the kitten's a female. The person who did this turned themselves in, again, the 19-year-old, quote-unquote, man, because he was disturbed by, and yeah, even saying this is boggling my mind. He was disturbed by the amount of attention the animal was receiving. Yes. He was upset that people are upset that a poor innocent animal was tortured in such a manner. Upset to the point that he decided to turn himself in and claim responsibility. Now, there is a part of me that really, 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 really wants to believe that we are misconstruing its actual meaning and that he feels guilty for doing it, and by attention the animal is receiving, he means the fact that, the animal was tortured to begin with at his hands. However, the realistic part of me knows that this is just a sadistic SOB who is truly mad that a cat is getting press. A cat that he tortured and tried to kill is getting press. I have no words for that kind of crazy. But I'm going to try to string something together. People like this, again, man, are. I'm seriously, I'm struggling to string the words together. But people that torment animals, the next step is people, normally children and the elderly. So, the story that I got this from, it was a petition on change.org to have this man charged with, and get jail time. And I'm all for that, because this dude does not need to be walking among us. Because like I said, it's only it's a small step from torturing animals to torturing people. And animals are bad enough, but let's not give him the time and the opportunity to turn his talents on the human race. I'm all for not letting that happen. So the link to the petition is going to be in the description as well. If I can actually find a news story about this, I'll include it as well. But yeah, he does not need to be walking among us. Matter of fact, I won't go that far. I'll be nice. I'll be nicer to him than he was to that poor animal, and nicer than he'll probably be to other human beings that he encounters. Well, yeah, that was number 3. Kind of wish I hadn't ended with that one because that's kind of a downer. So, on a happier note, I'll be back on Friday with some interesting dating stuff. That should be fun. If you want to discuss anything that I've talked about today, go ahead and leave comments. If you liked what I said, didn't like what I said, what have you, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. You know, that's fine. If you want to share this with family, friends, enemies, whoever, feel free to share. I love my stuff being shared. I love comments. Good, bad, and indifferent. You know, you don't have to love me. You don't have to hate me, but just watch me. That's all. So, until Friday, y'all have a good week. Take care of yourselves. And I'll be back on Friday with something dating related. And as always, if there's something in particular you want to see me address, shoot me a message in the comments or reach out to me on my Instagram, which is unapologetically mocha. I remembered it! Yay! Or reach out to me on Twitter. I'm at not sorry mocha. The @ symbol. Not sorry mocha on Twitter. Still have my Facebook page set up. I know. I'm sorry. Working on it. But until Friday, take care. And I'll stay as unapologetic as I'm ever going to be. Mocha out. Bye.